Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's ToyinTube here. Thanks again for joining me today. Today I'm a bit puzzled about why mothers-in-laws, daughters-in-laws, sisters-in-laws don't get along. I'm sure this is like a bane of the existence of every man out there that has all three of them in his life. It's such a difficult place to be for any man that is experiencing conflict between his wife or his girlfriend and his family members, especially mom and sisters. Today I'm not interested in going into the science behind why these people behave the way they do. I just really want to analyze in plain terms based on experience and stories that I've heard. But before I even delve into that matter, I was just wondering, why do we never hear of fathers-in-law and sons-in-laws not getting along? I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm sure there are people like that who don't get along with their sons-in-law or fathers-in-law, but it's not something that we hear of a lot as much as what happens on the side of the women. And I know that a lot of times we have men that are very close to their daughters, fathers that are very close to their daughters, and if they deem a man to not be good enough for their daughter, it might pose a strain in that relationship. And even when she goes ahead to marry him, they will still show their support, but it just might not be the best relationship. But when they get to that point where they're able to maybe know each other a bit more or a bit better, they just put everything behind them, and it's like everything is hunky-dory again, as if they never really had a rift or they never really had dislike for each other. And they just get along from then on, and we don't hear anything of it anymore. But it's not always like that with the women. If it were the women, good gracious, the war could last a lifetime. And they're always like that with the daughters-in-law, not necessarily the sons-in-law. I mean, it's like the men just basically have like a pass on everything. The men could never do wrong in the eyes of the mothers-in-law. They just let them get away with murder if possible. So for example, a daughter comes to tell her mom, my husband is not always around, we're trying for a baby, but he's always working, or maybe he's always with other women, he's not very handy in the house, you know, just comes up with a list of things that the man doesn't do. And you hear the mom go, don't worry, I'm going to speak to him, don't worry, I'll talk to him, he'll change, he'll behave. If the tables were turned and it was a son, he doesn't even need to speak to her about anything. She's going to poke her nose anyway. How is that your wife? How is she doing? Is she taking care of you? Oh, you look very lean. Looks like she's not taking good care of you. Have you eaten today? Has she cooked for you? Has she done this? Has she done that? You know, they want to know everything just because it's a daughter-in-law. So a lot of times, it's not like mothers-in-laws don't want their sons to marry or to have a relationship with other women, or you know, just live his own life generally. I don't believe that's always the case, but it's just that rivalry, the fact that she's occupied a certain place in his heart, in his life, and suddenly another woman is coming into the picture now. She feels threatened. That position that she holds in his heart suddenly feels threatened, and she wants to do all she can to, you know, protect that territory of hers. So because of that, they come up with all sort of things, tricks, schemes to just basically destabilize that relationship and discredit the daughter-in-law. For many years they keep nitpicking at everything she does. She never does anything right in their eyes, no matter how far out of her comfort zone she goes to please them. They're still never happy. And even when that time comes that they seem to kind of start getting along, and maybe they buried the hatchet and everything is now fine, you still find that they can remain a bit intrusive. So they say things like, so how are you and my son? Hope you're taking care of him. What is happening? You people have been married for some years now, no child. What is happening? Are you not making yourself available to him? What is going on? I know my son is a very strong man because his father did very, very well with me. You can see how many children I have. So what exactly is the problem? Are you too busy for him? You know, even if you're on your monthly period, you cannot deny him. You should make yourself available to him every time and any time. I need grandchildren. Is there anything I can do? In fact, you know what? I will bring some things for you to use. I will take you to my pastor to pray for you. It could even be that it's her son that's got the problem, but she doesn't care. She just wants to make this person's life as hard as possible. And if they're not busy blaming you for the lack of offspring in the marriage, they're busy blaming you for your weight. My daughter, you're gaining weight, so what is happening? Or has God answered our prayers? Maybe that month your weight gain was just basically down to the fact that you had too many burgers to eat. Now I know that boys tend to be closer to their moms, you know, and that bond may come under threat because another woman is coming into that space. Even if he showers his mom with a lot of gifts and still carries on showing the affection that he's always showed to her, it still doesn't change anything much. They just want to remain the center of his attention, and to be honest, they need to come out of their bubble. This guy needs to grow up, he needs to start his own life, he needs to move on, he needs to be a grown man, he needs to have a wife and start having his own children. Mothers-in-laws just need to come out of their bubble. A daughter-in-law is also a woman, so she would have in common with her mother-in-law that inherent jealousy and possessiveness over her man. So she's met the love of her life, and all of a sudden this guy seems to be a mommy's boy or a mommy's pet and can't seem to detach himself from his mom. Or it could be that he's quite independent, it's just the mom that doesn't know her place, and she gets all rattled by this. She doesn't like that arrangement. She wants me and my husband, me and my boyfriend, me and my fiance. It's us against them, you know, no one needs to come into our space. You find that these kinds of daughters-in-law, they treat their moms a lot better than the way they treat their mothers-in-law. Their moms and their sisters are treated differently to how they treat their mothers-in-law or their sisters-in-law or siblings altogether. The sad thing is that some ladies, before they even get married, they're already talking about how they're going to so make life hell for their mothers-in-law. They're going to deal with her. If she steps out of line, I'm going to put her in a place. She better not come into my space with my husband. You've had your years with him, now it's me and him. You have your husband, you know, just leave me and my husband alone. Yes, you gave birth to him, but now he's mine. I mean, and you're not even married to the guy yet. There may be times where the husband wants to go visit his mom and he tells his wife, let's go visit mom this weekend. Maybe stay over for the weekend as well because we haven't seen her for a while now. And the jealous wife turns around and says, we visited her like 2 years ago. And the husband is like, whoa, what do you mean 2 years ago? Like, so 2 years ago is not long enough, but you see your mom like every other weekend. Or it could be that when the husband's parents come to stay, the wife is the type that will lock the fridge, lock the store where they keep all the food and all the supplies. Just, I don't know, just to frustrate them, you know, and especially the mom. She might even have a good relationship with the father-in-law, but the mom, she just doesn't want to even cooperate with the lady at all. She doesn't want to help. She doesn't want to treat her nice at all. The third group are sisters-in-law. So these ones, I don't understand them, because even if I give a pass to mothers and daughters-in-law for having this rivalry, sisters-in-law, sometimes I don't get them. I don't get where they're coming from. You see, sisters to a brother can be his #1 fan, and they can also be his enemy, and sometimes they can combine the two. So his #1 fan in the sense of they want the best for him, but his enemy in the sense of they also feel like the affection or the bond that they share with him as a sister is now under threat by this other lady coming into his life. And for that reason, they also want to do everything they can to make her life as hellish as possible. And it gets worse when a sister-in-law and a mother-in-law join forces against a daughter-in-law. Oh my god, it is like the Battle of Armageddon. Some sisters-in-law have it as a personal mission in life, yeah, above everything else, to make the life of their brother's wife or brother's girlfriend a living hell. And when they start to get in cahoots with their mothers against this brother's wife, it's become something that is so ugly. It's a source of stress for any man, no matter how cool the man is. But the thing that sisters-in-law, if it's a single person, what she doesn't understand is one day you're gonna get married. Yeah, you're gonna be in a relationship with a guy who, you never know, may have a mother or a sister as well. And what if they treated you the same way you're treating this lady now, making her life hell for no reason? If you really love your brother, you will leave him alone. You will let him live his life. You will treat his wife or his girlfriend nicely, because if that person makes him happy, then it's your job as a sister to do all within your power to make that person welcome in the family so that your brother is happy, if you really care about his happiness, of course. So my advice to all three women is you need to stop all of this nonsense, conniving and tricks and scheming just to get the favor of the man in question, whether it's your brother or your son or your husband. You know, you need to stop all of this nonsense. What exactly is the point of a family that is so dysfunctional and the dysfunctionality is really linked to things that are very superficial, things that are trivial. All of you should just learn to live as one, enjoy each other's company, do things for each other, be helpful to each other, and also let this man that you all share have peace of mind. Mother, stop making the marriage of your children a horrible thing. Stop making them regret that you're even in their lives. I've heard of people who have cut off their parents from their lives all because they're making things so hard for them. All you need to do as the mother-in-law is to give your support. Just support them and pray for them that everything will go well with their marriage. And to the sisters-in-law, please remember that one day you will be married as well. Well, that is if marriage is on your radar. Even if marriage is not on your radar, just think of your peace of mind. What would you feel, or how would you feel if something threatened your peace of mind? How would you feel? And if you're a sister-in-law that is married and you're making your brother's wife's life a living hell, remember you're also in your marriage. Would you like it if someone or something was threatening your peace in that marriage? Or could it be that you're not very happy in your marriage and you're trying to project that unhappiness into the life of this woman just because you would rather have what she has? You don't need to do that. Just focus on whatever issues you're facing in your marriage and see how you can fix it so that you will have your own happy marriage. Let your brother's wife be. Let her enjoy the marriage. Let her enjoy the relationship. And if you're a daughter-in-law, think about the man in your life. You know, he loves you, he loves his sister, he loves his mom, and you cannot say that you love him yet you're maltreating his mom or his sister. If you're treating your mom nicely and your sister nicely, or your siblings, and you're doing opposite to your in-laws, there's something wrong with your character, to be honest. So guys, let's all learn to live in peace. So that's it from me today, and thanks again guys for watching. And guys, if you're new to my channel, please like and share the video if you liked it, and also don't forget to subscribe so that you will get new upload alerts. So guys, have a lovely week, enjoy your day, and I'll see you in my next video.